Warm greetings from the high 10. It's Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. This commentary is pertaining to monkeypox. I asked this question about couples, married couples and couples who are not married, if they should wear condoms now due to this recent outbreak of monkeypox here stateside and abroad. I will bring you said information pertaining to the stats of confirmed cases around the world, including the United States. And I will give you updates pertaining to monkeypox here in the United States. Thank you for joining me. Confirmed cases of monkeypox have now surpassed 28,220 worldwide, according to Saturday numbers from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. And that was updated August 2nd, 2022. So it's possibly more than that because we're now already later week. I was trying to find one stats a little bit recent. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to check something else. Updated August 9th, 2022, 9,492 cases. One Florida case is listed here, but included in the United Kingdom case counts because the individual was tested while in the UK. Alabama, 22. Alaska, 2. Arizona, 143. Arkansas, 12. California, 1,310. Colorado, 78. Connecticut, 49. Delaware, 6. District of Columbia, 318. Florida, 976. Georgia, 749. Hawaii, 11. Idaho, 8. Illinois, 701. Indiana, 77. Iowa, 13. Kansas, 2. Kentucky, 10. Louisiana, 88. Maine, 2. Maryland, 219. Massachusetts, 174. Michigan, 73. Minnesota, 55. Mississippi, 8. Missouri, 17. Montana, 1. Nebraska, 14. Nevada, 55. New Hampshire, 15. New Jersey, 264. New Mexico, 13. New York, 2,104. North Carolina, 114. North Dakota, 2. Ohio, 73. Oklahoma, 11. Oregon, 93. Pennsylvania, 251. Puerto Rico, 32. Rhode Island, 31. South Carolina, 41. South Dakota, 2. Tennessee, 55. Texas, 748. Utah, 56. Vermont, 1. Virginia, 145. Washington State, 210. West Virginia, 4. Wisconsin, 31. And Wyoming, 0. So Wyoming, West Virginia, Vermont, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana. Let's say we'll go ahead and throw Mississippi in there. Maine, Kansas, Idaho, Delaware, Alaska, and Hawaii have the least amount of people. Let's just say under 15 persons. Thank you for joining me. New York had a lot of people. I mean, a lot. Right now, once again, in the United States, 492 cases listed. Monkeypox cases, 9,000. That's a lot since I talked to you all yesterday. A few days ago, it was just 170 people. It's now almost at 9,500. This is very bad. Do you trust your partner? Do you trust your girlfriend, your boyfriend to be faithful to you? Have they been faithful to you? Are you more concerned about catching monkeypox now, knowing that it can be transmitted sexually? Because there are people out here who are not monogamous and they are in relationships. They are currently married and they are currently in a relationship claiming to have a significant other. And due to the fact that this monkeypox can be transmitted sexually, you should be leery, especially if you know that your partner has cheated or is currently cheating on you, because no one is exempt from catching monkeypox. And we do know that there are many men in this country who are on the down low and also openly bisexual. So therefore, if you are dating a man who is known to sleep with men, has slept with men, and also is promiscuous, and you know that he is, know that you have a chance to catch monkeypox. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie, 129 Cash App. I will now play you information pertaining to this outbreak that has plagued the United States and around the world. Thank you. I will play you different videos, and after I play the last audio, I will drop the link for anyone that would like to come up and give their comment on what they think about the monkeypox and it's spreading around the country, the different ways of contracting this virus. And please be courteous to the hostess and the chat, and not to have any background noise playing so that we can hear you clearly when you speak. Thank you so very much. CBS is my first source.
Monkeypox was declared a public health emergency. The FDA has now approved a plan to stretch the nation's supply of vaccines. According to the CDC, more than 9,000 cases have been confirmed here in the U.S., but vaccines are hard to come by, and health experts have warned that demand is outpacing supply. The new plan will allow providers to use 1/5 of a usual dose. For more and an ability to understand how that's possible, I want to bring in Dr. William Schaffner. He is a professor of infectious diseases at the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Always good to have you with us, Dr. Schaffner. So just off the top, is 1/5 of a dose enough?
Let me say this. Vanderbilt is located in Nashville, Tennessee, in my great state here. And it is a very, very well-known, highly recommended university. Excuse me. Just thought I'd throw that out there to my own horn, to my own state while I'm speaking. Thank you all so much for joining me. CBS News is the source. Thank you.
Well, it will be enough, Lana, if it's given the way the FDA recommends. You see, it won't be given with the needle through the skin. It will be given with a very tiny needle into the skin, into the little skin itself. The way we used to do a skin test for tuberculosis, a little bubble will be raised on the forearm of our arms, and that's where the vaccine will be inoculated. That little bit in the skin will stimulate the same kind of immunity that a larger amount given through the skin.
It's fascinating that that can work just by changing it in that way. Earlier, my colleagues Elaine Keano and Tanya Rivera spoke with a monkeypox survivor who described his ordeal seeking treatment, and I want to play some of that.
It's really disturbing and scary that the medical community was more informed on what was happening. Of those 9 days where I was waiting for the actual results, doctors were misdiagnosing me left and right with different things, staph infection, MRSA, and they were treating me for those things. And in one case, I had an allergic reaction to one of the medications, and it just made things worse. I just felt really alone. People didn't have the right information, and no one knew really what to do.
Dr. Schaffner, given what you just heard, how concerned are you about these gaps in information within the medical community regarding monkeypox, as well as the delay in testing?
Well, of course I'm concerned about that. your state health departments all across the country have been flooding doctors with information about monkeypox. It's on all kinds of continuing education websites also, with pictures of the typical rash lesions that occur and information about which patients ought to receive what sorts of treatment. We have to get out to as many doctors as possible. And fortunately, diagnostic testing is now much more widely available than it was just a couple of weeks ago.
And what should someone do if they suspect that they have monkeypox, particularly in terms of, in that case, somebody who's waiting on test results? Should people be isolating? Should they be keeping to themselves?
Of course, they should be isolating to the effect that they don't have intimate contact with others, particularly sexually intimate contact, because that's how the virus is spread. So we would have to ask people who have these monkeypox rashes to stay away from others, and so that we don't transmit the infection to yet the next generation of individuals.
So let's shift gears, because you and I have been speaking for more than 2 years about the coronavirus pandemic, and guidelines have changed several times with new variants and new information. In some ways, when we're talking about monkeypox, it feels reminiscent. What is the latest guidance? What should someone do now if they test positive for COVID-19?
For COVID-19, particularly if you're older, if you have an underlying illness, if you're immune compromised, your doctor can give you a medication. It's the same one that the president took, Paxlovid. It helps prevent the evolution of your infection into something more serious. And this has helped keep many people out of the hospital and made their infections relatively milder.
But with in the president's case, there was a rebound. He had rebound COVID. He then started testing positive again. When that happens, do people need to isolate again? Should they be concerned about being contagious?
Yes, a small percentage of people have that Paxlovid rebound. You know, the medicine suppresses the virus, but after 5 days, that's how long you take the medicine, sometimes the virus is still present and wakes up again a little bit and causes symptoms. Fortunately, they're mild, but the patient could still be contagious to others. So as with the president, they have to isolate again for another 5 days.
All right. Really quickly, the CDC is expected to relax some COVID guidelines for the classrooms. What should parents and students expect in this new school year that's just around the corner?
The most important thing I can say is the vaccine is available for every school child in this country. Parents, please talk to your pediatricians, your family doctors, and I hope that you will vaccinate your children.
All right. Dr. William Schaffner, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for all that you do.
All right, everybody. Dr. Schaffner out of Vanderbilt University, right here in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. He is an infectious disease expert, speaking about monkeypox and the vaccine. They're going to give you, as he said in this commentary, 1/5 of the dosage. He's recommending that children get vaccinated as to not get the monkeypox, and America has enough vaccines for the children. And I'm assuming they want the children to be vaccinated because they are the most vulnerable, such as with elderly persons. How do you all feel about that? Children getting vaccinated. Will you vaccinate? I left a lot of polls on my community channel earlier, and some of you said you would not. Did not care for being vaccinated to go to work or school. I found that interesting. You all have an infectious disease out here and you don't think you should get vaccinated? So I'm assuming you also felt the same way about COVID. You didn't want the shot or you didn't take the shot. So you think the children should go to school without being vaccinated for this monkeypox. And also people going to work, people working in the healthcare field, you don't think they should be vaccinated? I'm curious. Very interesting. One person has died outside of Africa from monkeypox. So now no one can say that it is not lethal. It has been said it is rare that a person dies from monkeypox. But in my Google search, that came up in the information that one person has died outside of Africa. CBS News was my first source of this said information. Thank you all so much for joining me. We will now get on to the next commentary. New concerns about monkeypox outbreak. Fox 5 is the source. Thank you for joining me.
Outbreak expands, there are new worries that it could be spreading more quickly to the general population. At least 5 children have tested positive for the virus, raising fears of a new outbreak in schools. Doctors say parents should be checking their kids for rashes and increase hand washing until the outbreak's under control. The Biden administration says that the recent declaration of a public health emergency should help get vaccines out more quickly. So far, more than 7,500 infections have been reported in the United States. Nearly 600 of those cases are here in Georgia.
The World Health Organization.
9,400 and something, almost 9,500, not 7,000. New count. 9,000 plus, almost 9,500 people are infected. Now you hear the children are infected. Quite a few people are infected down in Georgia. Children now have monkeypox. So I'm going to ask the question one more time. Should children be vaccinated? Will they make it mandatory, the school board, that your child has to be vaccinated with monkeypox and any other vaccination before stepping foot into their schoolhouse? I think all children should be vaccinated. That's just my personal opinion. Because children are vulnerable. Their immune systems are not fully developed as an adult. When you become an adult, you can decide what you would like to do with your own health and body. And I also understand parents should have the right to mandate their child's health care. But why would you want your child to go to school or just be living, period, to catch infectious diseases? You want your child to have polio, COVID. You do not know how your child is going to fare. You assuming what? Well, I have a healthy child. He'll be all right. Maybe he won't. Look at how many people caught COVID and they're no longer here. And all of them were not old. All of them were not in nursing homes. All of them were not sickly. And all of them did not have health problems. They were not diabetic, heart disease, overweight. They were regular civilians who got COVID. And now that you hear that it's spreading more, should couples be wearing condoms? Because as I said, somebody is going to go out here and sleep with somebody that's not their partner. There's going to be somebody that possibly will go ahead and sleep with someone or their partner knowing they've got bumps and a rash that they have not gotten checked or may have gotten checked and don't care. Will there be some people who see they have a rash and bumps and go ahead and have sex with a person anyway? And then you also have those who will be asymptomatic, which will be more dangerous because if you don't have these symptoms, you will just be treading forward as you were doing beforehand, which is going to be lethal. That's why I said a lot of people will have it if a person does not show any symptoms. Thank you for joining me. What a mess. All right, everybody. I played you content from CBS, Fox 5, 5 ABC, WCVB. This is out of Boston. Let's see what they have to say about this monkeypox. How to tell the difference between monkeypox and other rashes. My. Who thought we'd be at this point in life? Sickening.
FDA has authorized smaller doses of the monkeypox vaccine to try to increase the supply, which the White House says is running low. Here to answer your questions about that is Dr. Todd Ellerin, Chief of Infectious Diseases at South Shore Health. Thanks for being here, Doctor.
Great to see you, Dr. T. So let's begin with question 1. The original plan for distributing the monkeypox vaccine was 2 full doses, roughly a month, 28 days apart. Now we're learning the FDA will reduce the amount in each shot to a fraction of a full dose. So in your professional opinion, will the smaller doses still prevent new infections?
Eddie, I really think this is a good plan. I think it's safe. I think it's going to be effective. And I think it's what the FDA has to do, because the commissioner, Robert Califf, told us today that cases of monkeypox are increasing at such a rate that now the demand for the vaccine is greater than the supply. So we have to do something. What did the FDA do? Today, they just delivered an emergency use authorization for the monkeypox vaccine, we call it Jynneos, to be given in the intradermal route instead of the subcutaneous route. There's still going to be 2 doses, hopefully 1 month apart, but it's going to allow them to have 1/5 of the dose. So we're going to be able to expand the amount of vaccine 5-fold. I just very quickly want to explain what an intradermal injection is. This is the skin, as you can see, and I have the needle here. An intramuscular injection goes straight down into a muscle. A subcutaneous injection in the abdomen, for example, goes at a 45-degree angle, but an intradermal injection goes at about a 10-degree angle. Usually we use the forearm, and it just goes in so you see a little bit of a wheel. Okay, so it's in. Why does it work? Because in our dermis, it's rich with these cells that actually take up the vaccine and deliver it to where it needs to go.
Perfect.
I do think this is going to work.
Perfect, Dr. T. Great example. Great.
You just answered his question.
Yeah, I was going to jump
before
into
he
that.
even
Very
asked
good.
it. All
Very
right, interesting. So health officials in Massachusetts say that they have received several shipments of the vaccine from the CDC, but additional supplies won't get here until the fall. So how are you handling that delay at South Shore?
Right, Maria? Well, the Department of Public Health in Massachusetts just sent out a letter that basically said their strategy is going to be to now give as many first doses as possible and will delay the second doses until we receive further shipments. Now, there are certain people that have already scheduled their second dose. That will be honored. But really what we're going to do, and we talked about this with COVID way back when there were supply issues, is we're going to optimize and maximize the first dose, thinking that that is likely going to be able to prevent infection. And it's that second dose that may give more durable, immunity. But we really want to get right now, as we're seeing a rapid increase in cases, we want to get more of those first doses out.
So given all of that, Dr. T, we've reached a point where you've told us, getting a lot of questions from patients asking whether their rash, if they have a rash, could actually be monkeypox. So you sent us some pictures. So let's help clear up the confusion. To help explain, these are the photos you sent us. So what are we looking at? And why do you suspect monkeypox, or do you suspect monkeypox?
So we're going to start today with a monkeypox case. Okay, so this is someone that has confirmed monkeypox. Okay, he agreed that we could show these photos. So on the left, you can see that there's a pustule. This is on the finger. Okay, on the back of the finger, and it basically, if you looked at that, you could actually, in someone, you might think, could this be hand, foot, mouth if there were lesions elsewhere? But it's this second on the right hand side. This rash is really unique for monkeypox. And I want you to look at the center of it, where you see that black crust, and then surrounding by about a quarter of redness that's a little bit heaped up. It's the fact that you have pustules along with this type of crusted lesion with a heaped up border. That is what makes us think about monkeypox. Monkeypox can present as blisters, as pustules, which are sort of cloudy blisters. They can be crusts like this. Some of them can be painful. Some of them may be painless. You may see them on the genitals or in the mouth or in other parts of the body. But it's different stages of evolution. They don't all look the same. So that's an example of something that's confirmed monkeypox.
Dr. T, we have an after treatment picture too that we'd like to share with you as well. And is this what that area you just showed us would look like after the treatment, right?
So the Department of Public Health in Massachusetts was extremely helpful in getting this patient on TPOXX, which is the antiviral therapy, within a couple of days from the diagnosis. Actually, the day he was diagnosed, we started therapy. And basically, you can see this is just 1 week after, and you can see how this markedly improved it. And some of these painful lesions are no longer painful. He's doing great. The other thing I want to mention quickly is that he recommended that 2 of his close contacts go and get the Jynneos vaccine, the monkeypox vaccine that we just talked about. Neither of them have to date, and one of them just got monkeypox. This is a problem. These can be painful lesions. You may have to be isolated for 2 to 4 weeks. We really want to do everything we can. If you're a close contact of someone with monkeypox, you want to go out and get this vaccine.
I just want to ask a really quick question. Is it itchy? Because for me, it can be itchy.
It can be itchy. It can be painful. It can be just neutral. So there's a lot of different presentations.
Because you think, okay, I have a bump. Did I get bit by something?
Right.
I don't know. Okay.
Dr. T, thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Very helpful. Thank you.
WCVB Channel 5 Boston was that source. So they're recommending this 1/5 of a dose. Why? I don't know. But so far, this doctor is also agreeing. It's basically going at a 45-degree angle into the skin. It's not going deep in the muscle as other vaccinations have done before. Hello, Flora May. So obviously they know what they're talking about. I'm going to trust their judgment. With the 1/5 of the dose, the guy started, the wound, the bump started healing up 1 week afterwards. He told people who he was around that he has the monkeypox, but I think they said one was procrastinating about getting it and then got it. See, that's the whole point. Somebody's telling you they got it. You don't go get checked. That's stupid. That is why I asked the question earlier. Will there be somebody who will not go get checked? And they see that they have bumps, rashes, what? Won't even go get checked. You're going to wait for somebody to tell you, hey, I got it. You need to go get checked. You need to go try to get the vaccination. You're still not going to go. You're going to put it off. Why? Especially if you know you've had sex with the person, you'd be a fool not to go. See, that's what you have to be concerned with. This idiotic behavior of somebody knowing that they've been around somebody or been in a sexual relationship and the person is telling them, hey, I got it. I'm getting the vaccination. The Genios vaccine is what it is called. And the person will act like they're not even interested. Well, hell, then stay sick because you don't know the ramifications of not getting the vaccination. You think it's going to wear itself off? Why would you want that? That is the purpose of a vaccination. It's so you don't get it again. Hopefully. See, we don't even know the protocol for that. Getting the vaccination, healing up, and one, will you be a carrier? Two, will you be susceptible to get the virus again? Thank you for the two joining me in the chat. Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. See, there's always somebody that's just ignorant. I don't understand. 5 hours ago, CBS News, U.S. moves to stretch out monkeypox vaccine supply, as I just repeated in my earlier content. Thank you so much for joining me.
The Biden administration's plan to stretch out its limited supply of monkeypox vaccine. This will allow shots that use only 1/5 of the usual dose. The idea is to inject a smaller dose closer to the skin where more cells can take in the vaccine. Experts say this method has worked with other vaccines.
Oh, sorry about that. That was already turning off there. All right, everybody. Yes, about your eyes. That will be my last content that I'm going to bring you, Flora May. Interesting that you would say that. I have a doctor who's going to give commentary pertaining to the ramifications of the monkeypox affecting your eye. This commentary that you just listened to, CBS, and it's pertaining to the medicine being stretched out. Please take the polls on my channel. One says, will you take the monkeypox vaccine? 14% of you said yes. 86% of you said no. Very interesting. I also asked you, should monkeypox polio vaccine be mandated to work and go to school? 17% of you said yes. 83% of you said no. 71 votes. Why? You all are some very interesting characters out here. I don't understand what's the problem. Why you all don't want to, why you think a person should go to work and not be vaccinated. It's very interesting. Condolences to Olivia Newton-John's family. She's passed away at the age of 73. I was a big fan of Grease when I was a young girl, watching she and John Travolta. I love that movie. Shows you how old I am. Thank you all for joining me. Once again, almost 9,500 people have monkeypox in the United States. One person has allegedly died from this disease outside of Africa. 9,500, almost at 9,500. Please go back to the beginning of this video. You'll get the exact number. And I also bring you all the states who currently have, I almost said COVID, monkeypox. And that content was uploaded the 9th. Thank you all so much. Well, Florida, don't think about him losing his eye. Got to stay positive. That's the last content I'm going to bring you. It's pertaining to monkeypox and the eyes. Everything you need to know. Dr. Eye Health. This was uploaded 15 hours ago. So funny, Flora will come in here talking about the eyesight, and I now have that on my roster as my last video to play to everybody in the chat. After this last audio, the link will be dropped. Feel free to hit the link to give your opinion pertaining to monkeypox. If you would take the vaccination, why you shouldn't. Should it be mandated for children, adults to go to work, to go to school? How do you feel about couples having sex with condoms now? Because as I said, if you have someone that is a cheater, a known cheater, you might want to use a condom now. Will we be using condoms in relationships? Because you don't know what people are doing when they are out of sight. And we, as people, are known to be very trusting of our partners. But should we be? Should married couples wear condoms? Should regular couples wear condoms? And in this day and age, many people will say, well, you should be wearing them anyway. But then some feel like, well, I'm in a relationship. Why should I have to wear a condom if I'm in a relationship? But do you trust your partner? That's the question. Is your partner monogamous, faithful? And will he or she risk his or your health and others' health to go out here and get some nookie, knowing that the monkeypox is out here? Stay woke, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Last video. Dr. Eye Health is the source. All audios posted to my community board if you need verification for the information and the source.
Eyes. A common symptom of monkeypox is that characteristic rash that's like pimples or blisters that often affects the face. If you have these blisters on the face, they can get onto the eyelids and potentially in the eye. And this, unfortunately, could lead to some nasty consequences. So in this video, we're going to break down what the scientific literature says about how monkeypox can affect the eyes, who you may then want to talk to if this develops, and then possible treatment options if monkeypox happens to get in the eye. So smash that like button and let's take a look. Hey, what's up? Dr. Joseph Allen here from the Dr. Eye Health Show. If you like learning about eye health and eyesight from a board-certified, fellowship-trained doctor of optometry, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us here for all of our content about eye health. Now, in June 2022, the World Health Organization did declare monkeypox as a World Health emergency due to the increased case numbers that were appearing up in several countries, including the United States. And just more recently, you may have heard that the states of California, including New York and Illinois, have all declared states of emergency over the rising cases of the disease. Now, just for a quick review, monkeypox is part of the pox family of viruses that includes cowpox, camelpox, mousepox, and smallpox, although thankfully it's not as contagious or as deadly as that. Referring to the CDC website, the common symptoms include fever, headache, body aches and chills, swollen lymph nodes, exhaustion, and respiratory symptoms. And the swollen lymph node part is actually very important when somebody's assessing the eye, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But the most frequent symptom that people often experience is that of this blister-like rash that is often painful and itchy, with this rash often showing up on the face, trunk, and extremities, and may even show up on the anal genital regions. Now, monkeypox is known to be transmitted through broken skin, droplets, and bodily fluids, with sexual activity being a likely route of transmission and may increase the risk of this. Okay, so how does Okay, so how does monkeypox affect
He caught himself.
Well, like
Lord
I
of
said,
mercy.
if you have a monkeypox rash, these blisters, these large pimple boils or pox developing on your skin, if they're developing on the face, they could get on the eyelids, and if they get into the eye, then that can be affected. Now, digging into the published research, the most frequently reported sign and symptom of monkeypox on the eyes is that of conjunctivitis, which, if you've never heard that term, it's just a medical term for pink eye. Now, I know a lot of people come to me thinking pink eye is always caused by a bacteria or somebody like farting on your pillow or something.
I farted on Jason's pillow as a practical joke. He farted on Jonah's thinking it was mine, and then eventually pink-eyed my pillow.
But in reality, most cases of pink eye are in fact caused by viruses, just as in this case with monkeypox. Now, if you or a loved one was to get monkeypox, the most frequent kind of symptoms you would experience is a red, puffy, swollen, irritated eye. You would likely be weeping a lot of tears, and potentially it could be painful, even causing blurred vision. Now, in the worst case scenarios, knowing that these rash lesions on your skin can ulcerate, so can the lesions that develop on the eye, and that could lead to conjunctival ulcers as well as even corneal ulcers. With the conjunctival ulcers being on the clear membrane on the white part of the eye, and then the corneal ulcers being the cornea is that front window to the eye, that can lead to more serious problems. Being that corneal ulcers can leave scars, leading to permanent vision loss, and then if something terrible was to happen, like a bacterial infection of those open ulcers or wounds on the eye, then that can lead to scarring, perforation, and potential worse infections or loss of that eye. Now, again, I've been reading a lot of the research on this, and it looks like the percentage of people who do get pink eye in the case of monkeypox is about as high as 25%, with another reported case of up to about 20% of people. And thankfully, for most of these cases, it doesn't look like serious consequences causing vision loss and blindness is very common. However, I did find one reported case of a patient who had a perforated cornea that eventually needed corneal transplant. Now, what should you do, or who should you see if you or a loved one does get monkeypox and it's affecting the eye? I do think it would be in your best interest to consult a local eye care professional, either a board-certified doctor of optometry or ophthalmologist, someone who has good experience with anterior surface disease. As I was mentioning, there's many bacteria and viruses that can cause pink eye that can look very similar to this. As I was mentioning with monkeypox, checking the lymph nodes is very important and is something I always have to check for when I see a patient with pink eye, because there's also a nasty virus called adenovirus, which can cause swollen lymph nodes and may appear very similar to the way monkeypox appears on the eye. As far as treatment goes for monkeypox and how monkeypox affects the eye, for most cases of monkeypox, thankfully, it is self-limiting, resolving in just a matter of 2 to 4 weeks. So most care for monkeypox is supportive in nature, including treating the conjunctivitis or pink eye. So no matter what, most eye doctors are likely going to recommend that their patients use frequent use of artificial tears. In this case, if someone is having irritation, they're probably going to want to use a non-preserved artificial tear, because you're going to probably be using that frequently, maybe every 1 to 2 hours, or even considering something thicker like a gel or an ointment. Eye doctors may also consider putting their patients on a prophylactic antibiotic eye drop or ointment. Yes, monkeypox is a virus, so antibiotics aren't going to do anything, but because of the potential for open ulcers on the eye, the doctor may want to give you an antibiotic to prevent possible bacterial superinfection. Now, one other treatment that doctors may consider prescribing, but it hasn't technically been shown to be proven effective for monkeypox specifically, but it has been effective for treating what's called vaccinia, which is, again, one of the same family members of pox viruses. And that is an eye drop called trifluridine, or under the brand name Viroptic, which is an eye drop that eye doctors often prescribe for something called herpes simplex virus. But unfortunately, that medication does have a preservative in it called thimerosal, which is a derivative of mercury, which causes a lot of irritation of the surface of the eye. So no matter what, it's good to be using artificial tears in those cases. Either way, it's important that both you and doctors recognize this and consider if treatment with topical antibiotics as a prophylaxis or even topical antiviral therapy would be needed. Now, I know myself and a lot of people are feeling probably a little bit shell-shocked, just us getting over this wake of COVID, and now we're having to address monkeypox.
So
please
true.
Let me know your thoughts about monkeypox. Is it something you're concerned about at all? Is it something that you or a family member or somebody you know has had to struggle with? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, and as always with medicine, things do change and evolve over time as new publications and research comes out. And I strongly encourage anybody experiencing any eye health related issue to talk with a local eye care professional about appropriate diagnosis and treatment. Now, if you do want to learn more about smart things to do if you get a case of pink eye or different eye drops that may work really well for the eye, check out our other videos coming up over here. Otherwise, again, this is Dr. Allen here from the Dr. Eye Health Show. Keep an eye on it, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, everybody. That's my last audio. Dr. Eye Health is the channel, and his name is Joseph Allen. Thank you, Mr. Allen, for that information. So, this virus can affect your eyes, pink eye. It also can spread to cause eye problems. So you need to be very careful if you get the virus not to wipe your eyes. That's why you have to be careful when you're out here not to wipe your eyes. That's why I was just about livid today when I was out. I had to go to the grocery store, take something back, and lo and behold, before I get into the customer service line, my eyes are itching, and I'm like, okay, got these gloves on. I haven't touched anything but inside of the car. Naturally, the doors open on their own inside the store, but I'm carrying, this plastic bag and this food bag. So therefore, I ain't trying to touch my eyes. And then the lady in front of me was taking forever, looking in her phone and yah. And I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, I want to scream. My eye was itching. I wanted to scratch my eye, but I wasn't about to scratch my eye, even with the gloves on. Even though I hadn't touched much, but I had that bag in my hand and that I wasn't touching anything. Then my stupid self leaned on the counter because I was getting restless. Then I felt like screaming because I thought, oh, I'm not supposed to be touching anything, no surfaces, because I don't know how this stuff is spread. And I did wear gloves in that store and to the gas pumps across the street, to their gas station to pump gas. Hands sweaty, pulling the gloves off. I thought, good Lord, my hands are going to chafe from just perspiring inside of the latex gloves, because the latex really makes your hands perspire. And then now they mess with your cuticles. So see, it's always something with a virus. As he just said, coming out of COVID. Now, here comes monkeypox. Monkey paw is what I've called it. This is just ridiculous. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to this monkey paw virus. Are you afraid to get it? Are you afraid to sleep with your partner? Are you afraid to date? Are you afraid to meet somebody new? Are you afraid to start a new relationship? Are you afraid to kiss somebody in the mouth? Are you afraid to use your tongue in their mouth? God forbid your tongue anywhere else. Just saying. We're all grown. That's why I waited kind of late to do this live. This is bad business. You're not going to be kissing anybody anywhere. Should be too afraid to kiss them. Period. Without your tongue. This is just, Lord have mercy. I carry a few Q-tips in my pocket in case I have to touch buttons or touch my eye. Okay, interesting. So we will be purchasing more items now. Alcohol products. Naturally. Let me see who this is here. Miss Amanda, where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm calling from Georgia.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. What do you have to say?
Well, the question of your show you asked, should you use condoms with your partners?
Yes.
I think yes, everyone should be using condoms.
Even in a relationship.
Even in a relationship, to protect yourself. You cannot trust anyone.
Okay.
You never know who somebody is. You don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And to put their life on the line like that in a time like this, I think it's foolish.
Okay. So may I ask you, Miss Amanda, are you in a relationship right now?
No.
Okay. Do you plan on dating, or are you seeing someone or have a part-time partner or?
So right now, I am talking to someone,
Okay.
but not sexually active or anything like that.
That's fine.
But even if I was,
Okay.
I would definitely stop it. I would not continue with it because I'm just so finicky like that I don't trust anyone.
Okay.
I don't trust anyone. And you definitely, I'm a woman, and I was raised that you don't put all your trust in a man. You know, they can let you down each time. You know.
Well, my fear is that, like the one guy, the doctor who was speaking of the guy who had the monkeypox, and he told his two people who he was around that he got it, and one of them wouldn't even go get checked, and then they got it. So it's like, well, the person was noble enough to tell you that, hey, I've got this monkeypox, whether they were just hanging with each other or had sexual relations. Why in the world would you not go get checked? See, this is what I'm talking about right here.
But people do that all the time. They
Yeah,
just
but
don't
everybody,
want
but listen,
to
but everybody don't go around telling people they got monkeypox or chlamydia or whatever. They might get it. Don't never say nothing to nobody. But somebody's telling you of something that you need to go get checked, and you would just sit around and lollygag and wait till, oh, I'm starting to get sick or get sore. Now I'm gonna go get checked.
hmm You know what? I That's true. That's true. But I believe that even when presented with the truth,
Mm-hmm.
people will ignore it and they
Yes.
will put it off
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want that to be on their record. They don't want that to be a stain in their history.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't go and they will think that, oh, it will clear up on its own and they
Yeah,
can go
see,
on
that's
with their
crazy.
lives. And especially if they're not having any symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
they'll think that they're immune to it
Mm-hmm.
and they will continue their lives as if nothing is going on. And that is the danger in
Mm-hmm.
people today. You
Yes,
cannot trust people. You
yes,
can't
and that's
trust
what's
them
sad.
today.
Is because we know that there are people who are
Mm,
not monogamous. We know many people. I think we all have crossed paths with people who are very horse and they
yep.
have partners. They're married. They have relationships, and they go out and sleep with other people. And we
Mm,
don't know all the logistics of this disease as of yet, of how you all the ways you can catch it. So my thing is, it's a danger just to go outside now in the public just to just do basic things until we learn exactly every way you can get it. But if you're out here sleeping around, are you going to now use a condom? Because you have men who sleep with their wife, right? Let's say it's one person. I'll speak to somebody I know personally. I
mhm.
doubt he uses a condom with his wife, and I kind of doubt he uses a condom with that other woman. I don't know.
Mm.
He might do, but I don't know if they both act like, well, I know you ain't doing nothing but being with your wife, and you ain't doing nothing but being something with your husband. Then what?
Yeah, but you know how you always say, you never truly know a person. You
You
never
don't.
truly know what's on the
You don't
inside
know
of their
people.
hearts
You don't
and
know
what they
people.
will do, what
Yeah.
they will do behind closed doors.
Yes.
They may look like an upstanding person and they
Yes.
have it all together, but
Yes.
they be so dirty.
Yes.
They be so you be surprised with yourself
Yes. That's true.
of the things that you would do.
That's true because we're all human. We
You
all
know,
fall.
yeah.
And you all have a jump off right now down in Georgia. The first case that we learned about was a couple days ago with an African American female who has a child. She believes she got it from work. She's a cashier at a gas station, I believe. So that's where she thinks she's gotten it. So if she is truthful and it is the truth, then that
Mm,
is very dangerous. Then we're all susceptible to get it because at some point you're going to get caught slipping once you walk outside that door.
yeah, well.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to be
Yeah,
vigilant on
yeah,
wearing
that's true.
gloves
That's
and
true.
a mask again.
If that is the truth, if she's telling the truth,
Well, and I was
why
wondering
would
about that
somebody come out? Why would any woman come out and
and
say
say, I
that?
know. The other guys didn't mind saying it. One guy in Houston, he went on and told her, yes, I kissed a guy at a bar. And another person, said, yes, I got it through sex. But I noticed in her first interview that I watched, she never
Mm,
said, and the reporter never asked her, well, how did you get it? Only thing she said
mm,
was in that first interview that I saw, she said, there are other ways of getting it besides sexual. And then when I found more content, which was probably yesterday or Sunday, that's when I saw her say, or I heard someone say, oh, she caught it via working at the store.
But see, that's my thing. If I allow if it was me and I allowed myself to be on camera and do an interview with the
Yeah,
whole world to see,
yeah,
the first thing I would say is, hey, I did not get this by having
yeah. I
any type
understand
of
what you're saying.
sexual contact.
Yeah,
I would put that out right
that's
away.
why I was
Because
perturbed when
I
I watched the
don't
interview.
want
Yeah,
anyone to think that, hey, it's on her mouth, da, da, da,
oh
da.
yeah, yeah,
I would get it out the way. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't even come on camera and do an interview in fear of people would judge me
yes, I
for,
understand.
for getting it that way. So
That's true. Yeah,
I
because
look
what's
at
going to
it
be
that
interesting?
way.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what'll be interesting is if she is lying and she knows she caught it sexually, either she caught it or passed it, and then somebody sees her out or corners her at home or something and beats her up or hurts her.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
sent her child off to live with family for a month, and that's another downside of this. What if you don't have any family to send your children anywhere?
Yeah.
What if
Well,
you
then
got a newborn baby? You got to bathe your baby. What if you were breastfeeding? See, this is bad.
some people listen. You have some women that are single mothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They leave their children at home to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if the children are maybe they are of the age to be at home, maybe 10-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're 10 years old and they leave their children at home. So
Mm-hmm.
you need so they're gonna come back home to their children. They're still gonna be around their children.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they're still gonna be around people at work because they have to work. They have to get that money. They can't afford to stay at home.
And that's another flip side of that as well. Who can take off about 4 weeks?
Nobody.
Because you definitely want to be fully healed to where it's not even noticeable. Because even when they start healing, people can still see spots. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
Say, oh, it's monkeypox.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Who wants to tell somebody, girl, I just got over the monkeypox.
Girl, stop.
That's why. Let me tell you something. Let's keep it 100 because I don't sugarcoat nothing over here.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna be laying face down here shortly.
Yeah, girl.
Because somebody gonna find out somebody had monkey the paw and gave monkey the paw to somebody, and I'm telling you, somebody gonna get beat to sleep. You wait. You're gonna hear worse stories than just it's spreading rapidly. Somebody gonna find out somebody got it, and then somebody else gonna have it, and somebody else gonna have it. It's gonna be hell on wheels.
We'll see what the fallout is.
It's gonna be because you already have people who don't know how to cope as it is. With all the violence in America, people popping off, hurting people, harming people. Imagine you already don't know what the hell this thing is. Some people are illiterate and dumb and don't listen. First time they start seeing the sores off on their mouth, and they go find out they got that monkey paw. The first thing they're gonna think of was the last person they slept with. All hell gonna break loose.
Child.
Well, let me ask you this: how do you feel about the vaccination? Do you believe it should be mandated to get it to go to work and school?
You know what? I believe that it is going to be mandated sooner or later, especially seeing how now that it's a pandemic. Do I believe that it should be? Yeah, it should be. And people that are going to school and the people that are going to work, it's a requirement for them to get it. They're just going to have to get it. But if you don't have to go into work, you don't have to send your children to school because you can work from home and you can have your children at home doing homeschooling or going to the virtual school to avoid all of
the children are gonna be dumb as a bag of rocks. These children.
But no. Well,
I'm talking about the ones that want to school, the ones that try to pretend they can homeschool. You can barely read yourself. How you gonna homeschool your children? I'm being facetious now.
Well, if you have a good child, maybe you can do it.
I'm itching, man. Leave me alone. I said I've been itching all day.
If you got one child, maybe you can make something work. Maybe you got one.
Them children gonna be so dumb. Listen, the average child is about dumb as a bag of rocks. You know it since COVID. Since COVID, them kids can't count, can't do nothing. They know how to play that damn video game, but they don't know how to count. I bet you that.
They don't know how to count. They don't know how to write. Listen, it is what it is at this point. It's all about survival at this point. One thing about it too is if you're going to speak about the vaccine, like we don't know what's inside the vaccine, what are the end results of the vaccines, how it's going to affect the children, how it's going to affect people. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are
you see they're doing a fifth of a dose too. How do you feel about that? They're now shortening the dose. They're giving you a fifth of it instead of the whole dose.
Well, that sounds like they're watering that thing down. And you know how when you water something, come on there.
No, I don't know. I don't know about watering nothing down. I don't even know about giving a fifth of a dose.
That's what it sounds like to me. When I hear stuff like that, I hear, oh, Lord, now they're trying to water something. They ain't trying to give you.
They're trying to shorten it I guess to just take so much out the vial and then have a little bit left in there for the next person or the next whatever. But my thing is, will it work? But so far, I've heard a few doctors say that they agree with giving the partial dosage. So I don't know. I'm not a doctor to know if it'll work, won't work. But they're saying Some doctors are agreeing to give it because the numbers are spreading. Just a couple of days ago we were at 170.
Yeah,
170 is now almost up to 9,500. That's a lot in 4 days or so.
Whew, girl. Yeah,
That's a lot. Come on now. It's almost 10,000 people.
You're right. You're right.
And that's not counting. Look, that's not counting the folks that ain't ease on down the road and what they put on into that hospital because they got the itchy and the scratchy.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine
a lot of men don't even go to the doctor.
Who?
Men don't even like going to the doctor, and they're the main ones carrying.
Yeah, most men don't like going.
They don't go. They don't go. They don't go. They wait for their partners.
Look, I almost said nuts about to fall off. You don't even go.
Yeah.
Boy, if you don't take your tail in there.
They won't go though. They won't go. Something wrong with them. I don't know what it is with men.
They trifling. They are so trifling.
They don't care about these things. Like, I feel like a man in general don't really too much care about their bodies as long as it's okay on the outside. They're okay. They don't care about what goes on the inside.
Right. Toenails falling off. Don't give a
they don't care. They'll put some Neosporin on that and
I ain't never seen no Neosporin help no whole toenail come out. You can't glue that back with some crazy glue. Better get some of that glue that girl was using, that Gorilla Glue. Shut up, man.
Glue girl. Shut up.
You know that girl in Louisiana put that Gorilla Glue on her.
I know. She did that though. She did that.
That's what you gonna need for that damn toenail. You try to put it over that Neosporin, gonna make it slide on off. Lord, I'm showing out. Let me hush. Man, why is you on my live cutting up? Got me cutting up like this. But it's serious because today I got agitated being out because I was waiting in the line, and then I got frustrated because I couldn't dig in my pocket to pull out the change and the stuff with the gloves. I was starting to get frustrated. Like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the space I'm in because my patience is getting short. And then I felt sweaty and hot, and I was just like, man, I ain't got time for this.
Well, in situations like that, what you need to start doing, if you see yourself getting like that, is start planning to go out maybe once a week. Because I know sometimes I have to go to the store 3 times a week. And
that's a waste of gas. Gas is already high. So that's what I told myself today. I said, dang, you should have got this stuff yesterday when you were out. Well, I got stuff when I was out, but I forgot to get the antibacterial soap. So I went and got that after taking stuff back to the grocery store and going to get the gas. But I told myself this week, if it ain't important, oh well.
You know what? You know how in those survival shows and movies, they be like, okay, we're gonna go for a grocery run this day of the month. Everybody,
like the old days,
One time out the month they
like
go.
The old days.
Yeah, they don't go every day. Like, see,
I need to do that.
It's different.
I'm a social butterfly. Most of you all know that when I post my pictures to the community board. But guess what? This queen decided she may go stay in and be about 500 pounds next time you see her when she go live. You'll be like, whoa, she's swelter. Because I refuse to get that monkey Joe, monkeypox, whatever the hell it is. I don't want it. And it just like somebody said in the live the other day, it's going to be around just like the Covina, this polio. Y'all thought y'all eradicated that. Now that heifer done came back doing the gangster lean on a damn crutch. I'm done.
But see, man, that girl in Georgia that got it, man, I don't know, man.
Don't do it.
I don't know how much. Because come on, queen, man. I don't.
And
man.
y'all got some nasty men's down there. I heard about them black men down through China.
Well, you know what?
They like boys and girls.
Listen, so you know what? I don't stay in the city of Georgia. I stay in the country part.
It don't matter. Covina and Monkeypox got a trailer and a radio flyer to Big Wheel. They gonna make that way anywhere down there.
Anywhere. That's true. But once you are in the city, that's where mostly it's at, and it's a lot of stuff that goes on. You know what? I'll tell you something. Anytime I go in the city, when I get towards I'm entering into the city, I always feel like I am entering into another spiritual realm. I swear, it is like
Yeah,
there are
because the way the
new
people act,
rules.
the way the people act. I feel
I
like that sometimes too, and I
swear,
don't
it's
live in a
like it's
really
new
severe.
rules that apply to
Yeah, I
where I'm entering in, and
understand.
the whole vibe feels different.
Yeah, I know what you're
It,
saying.
yeah, yeah,
And a lot of
it's a
people
lot.
feel like that when you're not used to a certain way of living, or
Mhm.
you have erased yourself from a certain way of living. When you go around certain people, the way they carry themselves, the way they act, it can damn near be barbaric. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you're looking at wild animals. I thought that when I was in Chicago, you know, many years ago when my mom had passed away, and I was just looking out the window as a passenger, and I was just looking at how the people were acting and beating on the little bubble you sit in to catch the bus.
Yes.
I'm watching somebody just sit there and beat that damn bubble down. Why are you doing that? The bubble's not bothering you, but it shows you the madness and the chaos that's in the minds of the people. Now, 9 times out of 10, this was probably a mentally disturbed person. But just imagine being in a car and you're passing someone stand out there and they're beating down the bubble with their hands.
Mm-hmm.
The people, the endless begging and pilfering, and it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
And then not including the crime. Looking over your shoulder, worrying somebody gonna snatch your purse or knock you down or cut your throat. That's a terrible way to live. But people live because they got to live. They got to make it. They got to maintain, and they can't focus on being robbed or beat up or shot.
Mm-hmm.
But the violence in the cities are horrible now. It's horrible.
Yeah. But that's why, number one, I don't think anyone should be having really too much close contact with people anyway. Close contact and sexual contact.
You don't want me to spin no story about
people
that.
ain't gonna stop. People ain't gonna stop. People
But
don't.
listen, but I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to stop because I'm gonna spin this little quick story right quick.
Go ahead.
I was out. Let's see. Last week, I go out through the week and on the weekends. So this is a triple threat for Queen. One person talking to me, she's spitting. Okay, get in my face like 2 times. So monkeypox should be just like written all over my face at this point. Do you understand what I'm saying? You just spitting, and I'm just like, man. Here comes the news last weekend, and the first thing came to mind was that female talking, and she's just splattering me with all the saliva, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, now I wonder what the hell she got, even though they said it has to be prolonged respiratory droplets, but still, a person could spit so far out they could spit in your eye. I don't think it would matter at that point. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, you done by that point.
Yeah, you're done by that point. So I'm figuring I don't need to be going out. Because one place on Wednesday nights where we go, where they have like the little wings and food and drinks, that's close proximity because it's in like an older Victorian house, the way the place is set up. And that's too close. You're going to be like no more than a foot from somebody. Like a foot, depending on if they sit beside you on a bench or something, or a chair or bar stool. And it's like, it's just too close. It's too close. And even other place on the weekend, it's still close proximity. Somebody's got to walk by you, talk, I don't know. I just think I need to give it all a break. This is how I feel.
Yeah.
Enjoy my own company.
I think everybody should be giving it all a break. Like I was planning on going because I have a birthday coming up, and I was planning
happy birthday.
Lounge. Yeah, it's on the 22nd. And I was planning on going to a nice lounge because I don't usually go out like that, right?
Oh, okay, I understand.
And I wanted to do something nice for myself, right?
Yeah,
So
I understand that.
I don't reserve the lounge and everything, but now I'm watching the news every day. And thinking,
because you got to count the touching the stuff, the setup, the drinks, the tablecloth, the touching the cups. Somebody's got to touch something. That's just too much. I thought about that. If you go right now and get a mixed drink, that guy's got to touch that cup.
Yeah,
gotta touch that cup. They're gonna pick up a straw, put the straw in the cup. That's just too much for me.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know if it's worth it. I know it's not worth it. You know.
And you don't want to just give up your existence, but not going places and have a good time. But at least some of us, we did stay in the beginning, of COVID because we didn't have any other options when they closed stuff. You really couldn't go anywhere except for the stores in the few hours that they were open. That's the only place you really could go get something was the grocery store.
Well, for the little amount of
The
time
first few months.
down, because we wasn't closed down for too long now.
No, we weren't, but I'm just saying the first few months.
Yeah.
We were closed, and then they started, opening stuff, and then you just had to wear the mask. Most places wanted you to come, you had to have a mask to enter.
Mm-hmm.
But the side effects and what you're going to look like is worse. COVID affected you internally, and you could have died from the COVID. See, it's like a swap. This ain't going to kill you, perhaps, but it's how you're going to look for about a month with
And
open
the
sores
pain
and lesions and stuff.
And the pain that comes.
Yeah, the pain and the flu-like symptoms. So it's bad enough. Okay, I'm going to get weak. I'm going to make it some flu-like symptoms, but I'm also going to look toe down from the floor with a bunch of lesions around my mouth, on my body, inside my mouth. God forbid it spreads to my eyes, hands, feet.
Yeah.
And have you noticed this in the African people? The bumps were raised, I noticed.
But you know what? It looks so different in them.
It does look different.
It looks
than it does on Caucasian people, yes. I know that.
Yeah, it looks very different.
Yes.
I said, now that don't even look like over here. It looks more like an STD.
Yes, it does. Yeah, so on that white man, his looked more just really nasty because it was just a bunch of big ones up on his chin. The one that I
It
showed.
looked like a bad case of herpes.
Yes. It looked real bad. But even with herpes, you've never seen it clusters like that around people's mouths. Maybe a coastal on their lip, but not all around their chin and stuff.
It's more like some bubbles or something in the corner of their mouth or something.
That's what's so interesting is the difference in the skin color and the raising of the bumps. You saw that in the African people. The bumps were a lighter color. Naturally, the skin is dark, so it's going to show light. But the bumps were raised, like you could tell they looked like they might have been filled with some type of liquid pus.
Yeah.
And then on the white people here stateside, they're red and pussy looking, just totally different. They look different, and they have different pictures too. Some look like little clusters.
It looks like a rash with clusters.
Yeah, the clusters I've seen look like a rash. Yes. So that's amazing how different it look in the different nationalities. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you. Beth said, where did it come from? I don't know. Would you like to answer that, Miss Amanda? Where it came from?
Look it up.
Okay.
Look it up. Shit.
Ooh, Lord.
I heard what I heard, but I want you just don't know. You just don't know. They say one thing and then it's another thing.
I tell you what, people, as I told people, everybody lives different. And that's one reason why we have these viruses, because in foreign countries, third world countries, they live different than we live. They eat different than we live. That's one reason why they get these viruses and get sick, because they're doing things that really are not recommended, such as fraternizing with wild animals, eating wild animals, collecting wild animals for sale and their skin and hair. So you're taking a risk touching a wild animal. So this thing comes from a rat / prairie dog is what it's called. When you look at the prairie dog, it looks like a fluffy rabbit / squirrel. Really like the rat family. It's what it looks like.
But you know what? Even when it was over there, in that other country, when it was over there, it wasn't no pandemic over there. But over here, it's a pandemic.
Well, it may have been. Maybe, it take a while for us to get the information. You got to have, first of all, you got to remember, those people don't have access to medical care. We don't first know where exactly it broke out. What the first case was. Was it in a village? Or was it in a small town or a small city?
Well, I mean, when they had Ebola back all them years ago, it was a pandemic there, and we heard all about it.
Yeah.
Monkeypox wasn't no pandemic there.
Yeah. But I believe what they said the other day, that one guy that was in Texas years ago, I believe he had the first case of monkeypox here. If I remember, he was an African guy, and he came from over there, Nigeria, if I ain't mistaken, and he was one that brought that thing over here. If it's the same case, I remember, because I remember a guy getting back here, and he was very ill, very, very sick. and he had brought something back, and I think this is monkeypox.
I don't know. You know what I've heard as well? Because you know what? I've heard of a lot of American white women traveling to
Mhm.
different countries
Mhm.
in Africa,
Yeah.
um, paying those Africans to sleep with them.
Oh Lord.
You heard of that?
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yes, yes. It's a whole documentary on that. It's a whole thing with that.
What network? What network you found that on?
I can't say off the back of my head. Uh,
Okay.
when I find it, I, I'll send it to you in a chat whenever you post something to your community wall. But
Okay.
there is a whole community, like there is a whole thing where American women and some European women, uh, they call it like girls trip or something
Yeah,
for them.
I've
They're
got videos
traveling.
up now. So if you find the source, just post it to any one
Yeah,
of the videos that's posted
yeah,
on
they
my
pay.
channel.
They will pay them big money. Well,
Wow.
not big money. I think they will just give them like what they think is big money,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they'll just sleep with them for the times that they're there, and
yeah.
then they'll go back home to their husbands and their families and whatnot. That could
That's
be
the whole thing
another
about
way
sleeping with people
that
in foreign
has been
countries.
studied.
It's dangerous to sleep with people, period, without a condom, but definitely going to a foreign country, especially as I just said, in a third world country, it would be very dangerous to sleep with a man or woman in a third world country, coming from a third world country, because you don't know what they got over there. And it's not to say that we're any better,
Mhm.
but they don't have access to adequate health care. That's why you don't need to be fraternizing with people in places where, like this. It's a
Yeah.
terrible thing to say because we know that they're having sex with each other over there with men and men and men and women. But the funny thing about it is, to me, is that it came out of a country allegedly where homosexuality is taboo. So put that on paper.
Okay.
That's what is interesting.
Supposedly. Yeah,
Who was
supposedly.
the first person that actually caught it? Was it an African person or it was somebody else? Because somebody told me it was a European. I'm not really sure. But the genealogy comes from animal to human. It's very, very strange.
It's
So
very
after
strange
now
indeed.
dating someone or married to somebody, and you're already worried about catching an STD anyway, but then just find out you start getting bumps, you go get checked, and it's that. Imagine that.
Imagine that. I posted the link in the chat.
Say what? Okay.
Yeah, I posted the link in the chat. Whenever you get a chance, look at it.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. No, but I'm
yeah,
serious. Imagine that.
yeah, yeah. It's true.
What
It's,
what what is the person, a
it's
woman, a man gonna say? Well, I had a little fling.
no, no. You gonna pay for that?
How they gonna pay for it?
You gonna pay for it? You gonna pay for it in blood? I suppose.
Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
I suppose.
Oh my Lord. Well, I thank you for coming on.
Yeah, girl.
You can stay as long as you want. I didn't know how late you were staying up.
I'll stay on for a few more moments just to see if anybody come up. You know,
Okay.
see if
Hit the
any.
link if you all want to join us.
hmm I don't know how long this is going to go on. How h- how long do you suppose that this is going to be the height? Because COVID was the height
Uh,
between 2019 and 2021.
yeah.
And things started cooling down.
It'll probably last just as long because we right now have an uptick here in Knoxville. So it's
Mm,
22 now. I think it's just like what people said back then. This is going to be around. It's not going anywhere.
Something else. And then you know what? That's another thing that you have to think about. How are you? It was a little bit easier to explain COVID to the children, all right? But
Yeah.
then trying to explain monkeypox to the children. How do you explain that to children that don't know anything about um, the this depraved world
Yeah.
and how it came about?
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying?
Hell,
It's just
I damn near forgot how COVID came about. Tell you the truth.
yeah. But at least you can at least be able to say that You
Well,
know
but
what?
just tell the truth. It came from an animal. A human came in contact with a wild animal.
But you know what? How it is, how monkeypox is still surviving, how it is spreading, and who the known carriers are, and what
Oh yeah, in the beginning, yeah, I know what
the
you're saying.
community is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Is having to think about how to explain it to the children, to these innocent children that don't really understand. But now you have to kind of gear them up
Yeah,
and get them ready early for that type of information. And it's just really it's something, and it's mind boggling and it's stressful.
yeah,
I think that all of these particular these viruses is putting a lot of pressure on people. It's running people's blood pressure up.
yeah,
It's causing a lot of anxiety.
yeah,
It's causing a lot of different things in people. Some people that would have lived longer without
yeah.
having to deal with this.
Because I
But
remember one girl in the UK, she killed herself because she couldn't, they had a lockdown at that time in the UK. It was in London, and she killed herself, a young girl. She was like, I think 19 years old, somewhere in there. And I thought, why in the world would you kill yourself because you can't go outside? That's crazy to me.
mm,
But let me ask you the question I've asked all of my other chat members. Do you believe this is God's wrath? I didn't ask you that.
no, you didn't ask me that, but I do believe that to be so.
Really? Okay, tell us why.
I do believe it to be so. Well, you know what? I believe in scriptures, and I believe in prophecy, and I believe in revelation.
Okay.
A lot of people don't, but I do. And when I see stuff like this coming about inside the world, it's 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 prophecy, and it doesn't take much to be able to sit back and say, you know what, this was prophesied back then, and this is what happened before.
Yeah.
And so usually what happened before usually happens again until you learn from it. You
Yeah.
know, and if you don't learn from the things that happened before, you're bound to repeat it. You know what I'm saying? It's very
Somebody in the chat
frustrating.
about the monkey. The reason why they're giving it monkey is because they believe it went from a rat to a monkey to a human. That's why.
Mm. You
Cross
think it's
terms from a rat or prairie dog to a monkey to a human. And whatever the human was doing with the monkey, don't ask. I don't want to know. Something happened between the rat, prairie dog, and the monkey, and then the human. And that's why they're giving it the monkeypox name.
Yeah, who knows what it was doing. But anyway, Queen, I'm finna drop off. It's
Okay.
8 o'clock where I'm at. It's been a real girl. Thanks for having
Thank you
me.
so much. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, later, girl.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Okay. All right, everybody. That's the said information. I'm 1 hour and 18 minutes in. I'm sure many people are curious to how this came to be. You're asking really the wrong person, because it's just I'm trying to understand just the cross contamination from the animals to the human. What was the human doing with the animals? Did he kill the animal? Was he sleeping in a place where the animal was? The prairie dog, the rat, the monkey, what? Who knows? But nonetheless, where I have the problem with the information is, why was it prevalent in homosexual men at first? That's where I have the problem. I understand contamination from one animal to the next animal to a human, because I believe that's how COVID came about, was contamination from a bird or something, some type of animal to a human over there in China. But random people got it, not homosexual men. So why was this disease first noticed in homosexual men? That's why I made the video is this God's wrath? Because anyone could have contracted this monkeypox in the beginning. Could have been a child, could have been a woman, a man, straight woman. So why was it in homosexuals? And was it detected in homosexual men in Africa originally? That's something I'd like to know. Because don't you find it strange? It's left that region, gone all around the world to different countries, but popping up only in homosexual men. Homosexual men here in the U.S., and now we have women and children with monkeypox. And I brought you the stats of all 50 states and the numbers of infected people. And we're now at about 9,500 almost. And as I said, you're going to have many people who are not going to go to the doctor. They're going to walk around with those sores on their bodies. And you have lots of people who get sick all the time. When there was no monkeypox, and they still wouldn't go to the doctor to see what the hell was going on with their skin, why they have lesions, open sores, lumps, because people get infected with all types of diseases, venereal diseases, regular diseases, cancer, and they don't seek medical attention. So why would we be surprised that a person would get symptoms of monkeypox and think they're going to go run to the doctor? That's what the problem is. Yes, could be. Could have been a pet monkey, could have been a pet rat. I don't know. Could have been they was going to eat the animal. Don't know. But that's the gist of it. As I said, protocols in other countries are different than here. This is why you have to be careful with animals, period, because they also say your pet can get monkeypox. For those that don't know this, that's why I bring you this information so you will be aware. This is not just in homosexual men. This is in men, women, children, and also pets and surfaces. So if you have someone that you know becomes infected with monkeypox, you are to stay away from him or her. You are not to go in his home or house, car. You are not to kiss him, hold him, touch him, lay with him, borrow their clothes, sit on their bedding. Nothing. You will get it. You will get it. Dear God, I hope not. Bestiality. Please, you guys are killing me. Oh, my Lord. That would just be horrible. But I'm sure there are some people that practice very sick behavior. Oh my goodness. Don't have many people viewing today, and that's okay. But I wanted to get this information out, and I wanted you all to think about this, process this. Do you think couples should wear condoms now with this new disease being transmitted sexually? I'll drop the link again in case somebody decides they want to give their opinion. Thank you all for joining me. One second. Get this information out here. Oh, Lordy. Just when you think you're getting over one thing, here comes something else. We can't get a break. Dropping the link in case somebody else would like to join us. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to this monkeypox. Should couples wear condoms now, since we have this new disease that can be transmitted skin to skin, surfaces by the infected person, and through sexual acts? Thank you for joining me. Nobody has anything they want to add to this conversation. I think I said just about everything I need to say, because it is rather late, but I wanted to bring this content before going to bed. If you need verification of any of the sources, they're in the YouTube queue and via my community page. This is devastating to have a disease jumping off as it has in the past couple of days, couple months rather, since May. But the past couple of days, it's been jumping from 170 to now it's 9,500. That's a lot. So one would be weary. One should be, let's say, leery of the spread of this virus disease, and to take it serious. Even if there are no fatalities as of yet, even if they say it's curable by vaccination, it's still a terrible place to be, being infected and having a downtime of at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That means no contact with anyone, no touching, no skin-to-skin contact, no affection, no nothing, no sex, no nothing, for the chances of you transmitting it to someone else. And as I said, there's going to be someone that's going to see the signs of this monkeypox, and they're going to continue to run out here in the street, be visible, touch people, hug people, shake their hands, knowing they're infected. So I'm telling you all to look at every person that wants to try to touch you, hug you, kiss you, whatever. You need to be looking at their hands, forearms, and around their mouth area, because those are going to be the visible signs you see when you first come into contact with the said person. It can also show up on your feet, your back, your genitals, your anal area. This is bad. Also inside of your mouth. You can get sores inside of your mouth. So I bring you this information so you can stay abreast. I will keep talking about this subject until it weighs itself down. How long it's going to be around, I don't know. But as you see, COVID is still here, and it's now August 2022. We shut down March of 2020, and it still was running rampant, even with the closing, reopening, boom, more cases once things reopened, especially last year. A lot of places got uptick of COVID with spring break, summer break. Some people, I guess, just said, the hell with it, I'm going to live. But we all took a chance once we took off the gloves and the mask, catching the virus. And I recommend right now, yes, gloves and mask. I haven't worn a mask in the past 2 days, but I have worn gloves. And I try not to stand close to anyone while I'm in a store or out. But I don't plan on doing a lot of running out in close proximity of others. And I'm making sure to wipe my hands down, coming and going, even taking off the gloves, wiping the door handles down before going inside the home, coming out, wiping everything down. I'm trying to be very careful because I don't know all the logistics of this virus. And I do not want to find out the hard way. And that's the thing about something. You just don't really know, because it could easily be someone just comes in your house to repair something, visit you, and they don't even have to exactly be in your face talking to you windedly for 3 hours or more, but they could leave it in the air just from talking, because people do spit when they talk, and it could just be airborne in the room. And that's why I said we're not going to really know until people start testifying to how they think they got it. And it's going to be a shame if we find out more people getting it just from being out doing daily errands, going to school, going to work, touching a desk, door handle, water cooler, whatever, any surface, any outdoor surface outside of the home. And they already said, don't touch nothing that belongs to the infected person. So that means if they're out here asymptomatic or got symptoms, just don't give a damn, then you can get it being out here in the public. Why would you not get it? And if we're to believe that young lady down in Atlanta who said she got it from working as a cashier in a gas station, that means she got it either touching something, register, dirty money, tainted coins, grabbing a broom handle, mop, I don't know, whatever she does on her job, whatever her duties are. This is bad. That is the question I want to ask you all. Should married couples and couples who are in a monogamous relationship wear condoms since this disease is passed sexually, skin-to-skin contact? Should people wear condoms that are in relationships? You're recommended to wear them if you're not in one. But now with this new disease transmitted sexually, do you think that a married couple and or regular couple that date, live together, whatsoever, should they also be using contraceptives as to not get this disease? Because as I said, the downtime is at least a month. And that means you won't be by anyone. Hello. Hello, Jules. Thanks for joining us. Well, you're a little late. I'm about ready to jump out of here. We're talking about the monkeypox. And since we have an uptick of it here in the United States, almost at 9,500 persons are infected with monkeypox here in the U.S. You do know that many people are in relationships. Many people are married. And many people also cheat on their spouses and their lovers. Will they take the risk and go out here and slumber with a person knowing we have this deadly, I don't want to say deadly, but rampant disease? They say there is a cure for it, There is a cure, vaccination, but the downtime is a month. Many people will possibly take the risk and go out and sleep with people anyway and pass the disease on to somebody else. And as I was saying to our guest, Amanda, there are going to be people who are not going to care, and they're going to walk around with the lesions on their face and body anyway. They're going to go ahead and still sleep with people anyway. And this is going to be detrimental. Then you got to count the people who are like in homeless camps, homeless shelters. This thing is going to spread like wildfire because those people are in and out of places, touching door handles, being around each other, workers, staff members. So you have to think about all the people that work hands-on with people who are usually unclean, unkempt individuals. And naturally, you could be a clean person and still get this virus because it's transmitted sexually through respiratory droplets, skin-to-skin contact. So it won't matter if you have good hygiene or not. You're still at risk so long as you come in contact with an infected person. Your animals can get this virus. For those of you who have animals, you may not want to take your animals out anymore. A lot of you like taking your animals to places where they allow your animals to roam in stores and businesses, cafes. Don't take your animals out there. Don't take your animals over to somebody else's house. You may want to limit someone animal sitting for you because you don't know who has the damn virus and if they'll come in contact with the virus. And as I've said to the chat before, even if you're the type that's not visibly active, so long as you let people come in your house, a child, son, daughter, brother, sister, you don't know where they've been. You don't know what they've touched. You don't know all the people they talked to, did favors for, slept with. That's just the way it is. So you can't say, well, I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I ain't worried about getting it. Well, that's what a lot of people said about COVID. And now damn near half of the universe has had COVID. Well, Colleen, Jules, the link is right above you. Just hit the link. Call in on your cell phone. But that was my topic for this evening. I'm already an hour and 34 minutes into this live. There's only a few people watching. That's fine because it is late. But I wanted to bring you this content because I think it's very important to ask this question. Because as I said, you know that there are people who cheat on their spouse, cheat on their loved one. People will cheat. People have been cheating even with venereal diseases and AIDS, HIV being around and not care. So Somebody may say, well, hell, if they don't care about AIDS and HIV and venereal diseases, why the hell they're going to care about the damn monkeypox? Possibly not. That's why I'm asking the question. Should couples wear condoms? I want to thank you all for joining me, following the content, like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Please take the polls that are on my community board. I'm asking you questions about Ann Hesh. Do you think she was drinking or driving, or she was trying to kill herself? Should monkeypox be mandated to start school and go to work? Do you think this is God's wrath? So on and so forth. Please take the polls. Many of you don't think it should be mandated. Why? I don't know. Because you know, if it's spreading within a couple of days, it's dangerous. Okay, got Jules coming up. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm so good. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm finally hooking up with you. Oh
Hi.
God.
What time is it over there?
It is 6:20 a.m.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna keep you up too late.
What time is it there?
It's I don't have a, let's see. Oh, 1:20 a.m.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So tell me, what's going on over there where you are? Tell us where you are and tell us what monkeypox is looking like over in your jurisdiction. Thank you.
Well, I have to be honest. Over here, it's obviously it's all over the media.
Yeah.
However, they're trying to say that it's all sort of kicked off after that Pride crack.
The what?
You know those Pride marches?
Yeah, someone said that to me.
Yeah.
Chat. Okay, but where? The Pride Fest where?
Yeah, all over here as well. And they reckon that there was this massive upsurge. Was it maybe 3 weeks after the Pride marches?
Okay. Interesting.
So take of that what you will.
But that sounds crazy because they have Pride festivals and marches for years, and you've never heard
exactly.
of
Yeah.
this. So that's strange to me.
I actually discussed this with my mom last night. She couldn't believe I even was like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm hooked up with my queenie.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Is it spreading rampant over there in Ireland?
To be honest, I think it's more rampant in the south.
In the south of Ireland?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's more rampant down in the south?
I think because we're a bit more conservative in the north, darling.
I'll say, are you in the south or where are you? North, south, where are you?
Northern Ireland.
Oh, you're northern, okay.
Yeah. Whereas the Republic of Ireland obviously is a different government jurisdiction, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
We're still ruled under Great Britain in the north of Ireland.
Okay.
And I believe over here now, it's like, even if it is going on, people just don't even want to talk about it. Like,
yeah. Well, that's kind of what Amanda was saying. Some people just going to stick their head in the sand and
exactly
and keep doing whatever they were doing before, not thinking that they could get it or maybe don't care.
Exactly. But you had me in stitches the other night.
Oh, did I? What was I saying?
Was you talking about something about? Oh my goodness! You literally. I was hanging off the side of my bed. You were chatting about, there maybe if you order a takeaway or blah blah blah.
Oh, buying the food, yeah, getting the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I get a little silly sometimes.
No, I love it. Keep being silly.
So, are you dating, Jules?
Sorry, darling?
Are you dating?
No, I wish I was.
Okay.
I wish I was.
How do you feel about the title? Do you think people that are in relationships, should they be using condoms?
Well, obviously, It depends what sort of relationship you're in.
I just said, married couples and people in relationships. Do you think they should be using condoms right now because of this disease?
Married couples and people in a relationship, I would say maybe years ago I would have absolutely, without hesitation, said yes. However, now, because I lived in London in the UK, mainland UK, I lived in London for 12 years. And I can tell you now, I used to go out with workmates of mine, male, and we would literally like be stood in a pub in central London, and next thing, lovely looking gentleman would have came along. My mate would have just like literally disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe half an hour later, he would have come back and said to me, well, listen, Jules, great to see you. Nice for the wee, you know, but he's got to go back now to his wife.
Okay.
And straight away, I was like, what the? Yeah.
So
You
I
know
stepped
that
out for a
whole-
second. So the person you're speaking of, is this someone you dated or you are
Oh,
dating?
no. This was a gay friend of mine who I worked with.
Okay.
And then he then opened my eyes up to this whole crack of, you know, these like men that are living these like double lives.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
like, on the
I
down,
mean, like-
on the down low? You mean on the down low?
Oh, on the down low, my God, down low. Fucking lower than down low.
Okay.
But
So your
really,
friend-
like, I
let me
mean,
ask you, so your friend, does he date men and women?
no, just men.
Is he concerned about the virus?
Listen, that was in London many years ago. I'm now
many
back
years
in.
ago. Oh, you haven't seen him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm now back in Northern Ireland. But what I'm saying is, he literally opened my eyes
Okay, to the other side. Mhm.
because he used to make me think, oh, we're going out for drinks tonight, and I used to think, oh, isn't he so nice? And you know, I'm over there and I'm all lonely and what have you. And as I say, lovely looking gentleman maybe walked into, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the next thing he would have vanished.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe half an hour later he was back.
Yeah, I
And
see.
he was all, listen, Jules,
Yeah.
he has to go back now to his wife and his wains.
Oh, wow.
That's kids,
I got
that's
it.
kids in the
Okay.
States. We call it wains here in Ireland, you know.
Is he still alive?
Yeah. And I literally would be like looking over his shoulder at the guy and
Yeah.
be like, what?
Is he still
And then-
alive, Jules?
I mean, exactly.
I'm not. No, I'm
And then
asking.
I
Is your
was like-
friend? Is your friend still alive? I'm saying.
Just about.
What do you mean, just
I have
about?
to, no, I have to say now the photographs that I've been looking at him of lately online.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, aged big time. Like aged big
Oh.
time.
You mean
Yeah.
age like he's gotten old.
Oh, aged as in too many sausages, like.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Do you remember the caller you had the other night? And she was like, was it something about rectum?
Okay.
Yeah. I personally believe that, and I dare say there's more going on there as well than
Well,
probably that he's
Okay.
ever laid on to us.
Okay. I'm getting confused. Is he thin in the pictures on Facebook or wherever?
He is very gaunt. He
Okay, that's
is
what I'm
very aged. I mean,
Well, how old is he?
he's like my age. He
Well, I don't know
looks
how old
like, you know, he actually looks like a man in like his late 50s, early 60s at the minute.
But how old is he, Jules?
Early 40s,
Early-
mid 40s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, do you have any male gay friends?
Oh, loads. That's
Okay.
the only friends I seem to have.
Okay. Well, have you talked to any of them about this monkeypox?
Well, the thing is, I had all these friends when I lived, as I say, over in London for 12 years when I lived in mainland UK. Over here, however, it's not something that's, how can I put it? They don't really broadcast it as such. It's only really starting to come out, if you know what I mean, over here. In terms of
you mean being a homosexual?
Sorry?
You mean being homosexual? They're starting to come out. I'm getting confused.
Oh yeah. No, I suppose it's you know. Listen, darling, if you ever have a chance, just check out Northern Ireland politics.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm serious, because although we may still be ruled by Britain, there is still, because we have a what do you call it? Whatever government over here, whereby we can make our own rules in certain respects. However, there's things that maybe the UK has that we don't have, because the people here will not let them pass. Yeah. So it's really like blurry.
Well, let me ask you this: the friends that you do have that are gay over there, are you concerned for their health?
To be honest, I haven't seen them in years.
Okay, I see. Okay.
I've been busy raising my daughter for the last 12 years.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And to be honest, that's the truth.
So you did say you do believe that couples should wear condoms. That what you said?
I think in that respect, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So much for skin to skin then, and love.
Listen, it's not for me to say, and I'm not here to cast judgment. I you know what I mean? Even heterosexually. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Heterosexual.
Yeah.
Straight relationships or gay relationships, whatsoever. People who are married and in relationships, should they use condoms? That is the question of this video.
I think if you're in like a consensual, committed adult relationship and you have both maybe got tested and you're both fine with that, that's fine. However, if you're gonna, for want of a better word, fuck around,
yeah,
you know, like really, you know, yeah. I think what you have been discussing these last few evenings, which has really caught my ears, like all that, you know, you have got to ask, like. So I think it is all about protection. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, Bambi says no condoms for faithful couples. But what I'm saying, Bambi, is even if you think your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever is faithful, should you go on and use them anyway? Because people do make mistakes. And the thing about it is we have lots of diseases out here. We have lots of filth out here. We have HIV, AIDS out here, syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, all type of things. People still will sleep without condoms. So I might be putting my foot in my own mouth by even asking, should people use condoms? Because people are still cheating on people, knowing that they could catch something and take it back to their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife.
Listen, I've been there. My ex slept around and never let on to me, and I mean, like I mean, that still bugs me to this day. Seriously, yeah. So for me, you know what I mean. Skin to skin contact. In a sexual manner, ain't had that in a while. Why? Because just lack of trust. And
skin to skin, it could be anything. You could be just sitting beside somebody,
exactly,
laying against them naked and not having sex, or laying against them in your nightgown. It's all
exactly
what it means. Skin to skin means just what it means. Skin to skin. You don't have to actually be having sex. You can just be lying with the person.
And maybe some, you know, maybe an old, you know.
I heard this the other day. They said they recommend having sex with your clothes on. Now I said, how is
what?
That's what we would call hunching as young people.
Oh my goodness.
That would be hunching. A boy, girl, man, woman, lying on top of each other, rubbing their bodies against each other with their clothes on.
I think if memory serves me correct, I think it was called dry humping over here. Dry humping.
Well, that's exactly what I guess the sex would be.
Oh dear. But listen, look, I think maybe I'm just getting on in my years, to be honest. But do you value your life, or do you value that X amount of minute, second pleasure, whatever?
Yeah. Well, I think it. Everyone's made mistakes of being with people without condoms, and
exactly. Hey, listen, we all have
risk. Yeah, you take that risk for that. However long it took you to get your groove on.
Yep.
You took the risk. Many people have taken the risk, and many people have suffered greatly by taking the risk.
Yeah.
They have. So
absolutely. I think there again, it all comes down to trust, and maybe I don't know. As I say, Queen, it's been that long.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, one thing I will say, the only positive thing about this monkeypox is that they say it has a cure. Because if it didn't have a cure, Lord have mercy.
Do you believe that there is a cure?
I don't know. I'm just going by what they're saying.
Or is it the whole...
That's why I ask all the pertinent questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
After you've healed up, are you still a carrier? Are you a carrier? And what are your odds of re-getting it? Be reinfected? Kind of like COVID. Some people got it, and then a little while later, they got it again. I've heard that. That was mentioned a year or so ago.
Yeah.
Or two. Yeah. When people were getting sick and then healing up, they found a young guy, he had got reinfected with the COVID. So that's what I would like to know about this monkeypox. You get the monkeypox, the lesions heal up. What are your chances of getting it again? Are you a carrier even after you've healed? And yes, is there really a cure?
Well, I think, Rain Max all around.
Jules, be serious now. Come on.
No, I'm serious. Because it is scary. Because I was about to say there about, there, like with COVID, you had masks.
Yes.
You had gloves.
Yes.
You had this, you had that, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? As I say, for me personally, it's like, do I want to survive on this earth, or do I want to take that risk and not protect myself while they're in my hands, or them other bits, or do you understand?
Yeah. So when you go out now, are you wearing gloves and a mask or no?
I'm not actually. No, I'm not. I haven't even been vaccinated. I don't believe in it, to be honest.
Oh my gosh, really? Well, do you think people should be vaccinated? Should it be mandated to be vaccinated to go to school?
Absolutely not. No, I think it should all come down to a matter of personal choice.
Okay, but you see how fast it's spreading.
I'm talking COVID now.
I'm talking monkeypox now.
Oh, well, hey, that's what I'm saying.
What's the difference? What's the difference between monkeypox and this? Because COVID could kill you.
Yeah, well, listen, I ain't had no jabs yet. It ain't killed me yet. And if it's skin-to-skin contact with this monkeypox, well, hey, no. But I am, in saying that, though, I'm not careless. Do you understand? I sanitize, I do this, I do that, blah, 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 blah. However, I just didn't think that the whole thing was what they were making it out to be.
What, COVID?
Yeah.
But you saw how people were dying, though.
I did. Yes, I did.
And you didn't take it serious then?
It's not that I didn't take it serious. I didn't have any faith in this rush through vaccinations that they...
So you didn't get a vaccination?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this. Would you get a vaccination for the monkeypox?
No.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I know I'll never be having skin-to-skin contact with anyone unless our Lord grants me a miracle.
But you don't have to have skin-to-skin contact. It is spread through other ways, allegedly.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah, absolutely. But listen,
You have a
I'm
child in your
just,
house. Don't your child go to school? Don't your child go hang with people? Go
oh, she does,
outside?
surely. Yeah, she does.
Well, she could bring it in the house.
She probably could.
You could as well. You have other
But,
guests to come to your house?
but who's carrying it?
Huh?
How do we know?
I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm saying, who is carrying all these?
Well, at this point, it don't matter who's carrying it. You can get it. It's the point now.
Well,
Doesn't matter who's carrying it. That's the myth. It started out, yes, being shown in homosexual men, but other people have it now, so it doesn't matter. That's why I kept trying to explain to people. It doesn't matter how it came to be. It doesn't matter what country it came from. It doesn't matter that it showed up in homosexual men. It's a question to ask, but the point is now you can get it all kinds of ways.
yeah.
Touching surfaces, having sex, skin to skin, respiratory droplets, kissing. So all bets are off for everybody. That's the gist of the story. Do you believe this is God's wrath?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
I do, actually. Yeah,
Okay.
I do. And I know you were probably gobsmacked by me saying, I didn't get vaccinated, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, that's your choice. You don't want to get vaccinated. But
Yes,
I'm just looking at the fact that COVID was deadly. People actually died. People had horrible complications.
Yes, absolutely.
Visibly bad flu-like symptoms, and then clears up in about 4 weeks. Allegedly. But
I think, to be honest, I literally just thought, do you know what? If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But I also didn't buy into the whole, as I say, I just didn't, because personally for me, I thought, obviously, you know what I mean? It just was on us before we knew it, and we were in this whole pandemic, and blah, 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 blah. Next thing, vaccinations, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you're all right. Nah, honestly.
Well, let me ask you something. Had you gotten sick, would you have taken the vaccination?
Sorry?
Had you gotten sick with COVID, would you have taken the vaccination?
I believe I had COVID twice.
Oh, Lord. That's not what I
do. On my daughter's life. There's my right hand to God. I believe I had COVID twice.
Jules, that's not what I asked you. I said, if you had gotten it, would you have taken the vaccination? Now, stop being difficult. You got to think about it. Oh, my gosh.
You see,
yeah, I'm going to pray for you, Queen.
You got me there.
Well, I'm going to pray for you.
No,
you have to pause on all these questions. That's not good.
I personally, no. I'm not pausing. I personally believe it all comes down to your own immune system, and maybe that's wrong, but that's just.
So you're basically saying, one minute you're saying, oh, I want to preserve my life, but in the next hand, you're saying, I don't mind gambling with my life.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm not going to have any government imposing any vaccinations or whatever. I think it should be down to personal choice. Okay, and if you're willing to protect yourself.
Your own personal choice, you don't want it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, we'll get off that subject. We'll get off all of this because I'm almost 2 hours in. So you do believe God's wrath.
I know.
You believe that couples should wear condoms with this disease. Do you think there is a cure for it? And then I'll leave it there.
I honestly could not answer. No.
Because you don't think there is one, or you don't know?
No, for me, I couldn't answer that, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm still pondering over what is it all about.
So you don't watch any news pertaining to this monkeypox?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
Tell me what is it that you're confused? I think I don't understand. What are you confused about, Julie?
Because the media are portraying it as this, that, and the other, and then we're hearing, oh, it's only through skin to skin, or and then the next thing, homosexuality, blah blah blah, and I'm literally like, because I literally don't have
Well,
them type of
I'm going to tell you
relationships.
this. It's been found in homosexual men due to
Yeah.
homosexual men having multiple partners. But
Yeah.
anyone can get it because naturally homosexual men will sleep with women. You can get it through respiratory droplets, allegedly. So that means a woman, man, gay, bisexual will catch it. They say your pets can get it. You can get it from touching surfaces that an infected person has touched. You can get it from their clothes and their bed. Listen, you can get it from their clothes and their bedding. So therefore, if someone is infected and they go out to the street, all bets are off because they're touching stuff. You can also be asymptomatic and not have any symptoms.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Therefore,
you're absolutely right.
They're in people's faces, talking, laughing, long-winded conversations, 3 hours or more is what's been said. Respiratory droplets, spitting in people's face, talking, boom. There is your monkeypox without having sexual relations.
I know.
Skin to skin.
I know.
Now, are you confused about anything I just said?
I'm not confused, but I have to say, what we are dreading over here in Northern Ireland is the oncoming fall and winter. Because that is an awful time over here with the weather we have, number one, the flu levels, the cold levels. I even said these viruses. I said nobody knows. People think that maybe we've got over the COVID. I says we haven't got over this winter yet. I think this is going to be this is going to be a testing time, I think, and in all honesty.
A testing time.
Absolutely. I dare say I would say maybe going on to maybe next year, you'll start to see whatever. But that's my opinion, obviously. But just, with the whole COVID and this and that, monkeypox, whatever. For me personally, granted, I don't wear a mask. However, I do sanitize. I keep myself clean. I travel in my car. I literally go out in the car. I go and do what I have to do. As soon as I come out, I'm sanitized. I'm straight in the house. And I wish I had skin-to-skin contact. I'm only joking.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, I'm careful in that regard. However, I'm worried about this oncoming winter. Yeah, because I think this winter is going to be maybe especially here where I live. I think there's going to be a lot of people, I dare say, maybe losing their lives.
Okay, but why do you think that? I don't understand why you're thinking that, because this is the time when most people will be indoors, so I'm confused.
Well, yeah, but then again, you've got people indoors. You've got maybe, no, I'm not even going to go into the monkeypox crack.
Well, we're talking about monkeypox, so what are you talking about?
But no, I'm talking about the whole COVID and like people that maybe hasn't been vaccinated, like myself, and maybe hey, you know yourself, Christmas gatherings, New Year's Eve, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but see, these are the months most people are more concerned with is summer, spring and summer, when people are out gathering, weddings, or
because they can't see past, because they can't see past their nose. You mean?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is people gather more in the warmer months than they do in the winter.
Yeah, but germs spread more in the winter, don't they? Because we're all cooped up. That's why more people get colds and flus during the winter, because we're all cooped up.
Well, we will see. Well,
and that is why, yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm like, I am just going to try to. I dread to think, but I hope to God,
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Well, I thank you for joining me. I'm going to check out of here.
Hey, listen, thank you
So I can get in
so,
the bed.
so much.
You're welcome,
Thank
honey.
you.
You be safe over there.
I mean that. Thank you so, so much.
Okay.
May
You're
I
welcome.
just ask, which part are you in over there?
I'm in East Tennessee. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee area.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Knoxville, Tennessee, Lauren. Just tell my daughter so we'll not forget.
Tennessee. Yeah,
Knoxville, Tennessee.
I'm almost to the bottom of the United States.
I knew. Oh, brilliant. Darling, listen, I'll check it out. And listen,
All
thank you
right.
so,
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay.
Chat
Thank you.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye. All right, everybody. That's Jules from Northern Ireland. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to check out here. I'm 2 hours in. You're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to get a vaccination. You're entitled to not vaccinate your children. I believe children should be vaccinated. We've been getting vaccinated for many moons, and most of the people have turned out okay. And they turned out okay because they got the vaccination. That's just my personal opinion. I've gotten the COVID, the booster. I haven't had any major side effects. Once again, you're entitled to do what you see fit. But we now have another disease. So I think the universe is telling us, God, whomever you want to say, is telling us we ain't right. This is how I feel. And you're going to have to deal with a whole lot of stuff before you leave here. And I don't see why anybody wouldn't want to get vaccinated due to the fact we have all these things popping up. We also now have polio. Polio has been found in wastewaters up on the East Coast, New York, Rockland, and Orange County. And that is a paralyzing disease that has no cure. Let me make that clear. There is no cure for polio. So you're entitled to walk around and pray that you don't get hurt, pray that the piano don't fall on your head, and pray you don't get COVID, pray you don't get polio, and pray you don't get monkeypox. Because, see, there's always one disease that has a different effect than the other. COVID could have killed you. Polio is paralyzing, no cure. And monkeypox, you're down for 1 month with sores all over your body, your mouth. Worst case scenario, it's aesthetically disgusting looking, but allegedly a cure. It is up to you. Should couples wear condoms now due to this new virus? Please take the polls on my community board. Thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below and on the community page. If you'd like to donate to this great network, Everyday Shenanigans, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. I will be back with more stimulating conversation content. I will be bringing you an update tomorrow, or later today rather, pertaining to a situation out of Memphis, Tennessee, Highland Hills apartment complex. I just read an article stating on Monday the apartment complex has worked out a payment arrangement with the city of Memphis, water, light, and gas, electric. They said they have paid the bill, but some residents are leery. We will see what will happen. But I still believe there's something fishy to that story. I'll bring you content on that later. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you, T. You all have a wonderful day. God bless you. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you.